Good morning. It's time for morning Oasis. I'm gonna. We are doing our week of service today. I'm gonna turn off my cell phone. Get myself ready. I hope you guys are well. As you can hear, I'm quite congested today. It's actually less congested, more sore throat action. So, hi Shauna, nice to see you in. Thank you. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Connie. So today we're going to do things a little bit different. I had Andrea, one of our students, contact us, and we're going to be doing some service work for a family member of hers, her mother. Good morning, Laura. I hope your road trip went well. So today we're not going to do the normal card pulls. What I thought we would do is instead we're going to just pull 3 cards real quick that's for supportive energy for all of us. Let's turn that off. And that's coming through from the Oracle deck I'm seeing. Good morning, Jesse. We've already had Jesse doing some reads and connection in on kind of what we're going to be working with and working on this morning. Yeah, I'm going to read you guys kind of the assessment in a few minutes. But first, I just want to pull and see who's supporting and what kind of energies also to help bring us all into alignment today. Yeah. Okay, so no surprise, you guys. Good morning, Claire. Oh, you're up. Good job. Great. Unfortunately, my sister's ready to pass from this world. Well, you know, Laura, it is a very hard thing for us as the ones left behind to deal with these losses. Yeah. Why don't you do that, Jesse? That would be awesome. Thank you very much. That's really supportive. But what we have to keep in mind with the loss of an individual is that when they pass, it's usually because they're ready to transition into this new vessel, into this new life. Hi, Andrea. Good morning. So it's actually, though it's hard on us because we're like, oh God, we love them and we loved them being in that vessel. We loved them being a part of our family, a part of our lives. But know that it's really, truly a part of the transition and that you will not be losing her in any way. You, in fact, will still have her connected in with you and have her energy there. Good morning, Elizabeth. Okay, so today I got, this is really no surprise, the 2 energies that are going to be helping us in addition to others that we'll be calling in is Archangel Uriel and the goddess of the moon energy, Selena. So that reflective energy and that crown connection energy, we're going to be using some pretty high connecting energies. Yeah. to haunt you. And the 3rd card that came through was appreciation. You know, really taking the time to pause and just to focus in and appreciate the individuations and the things that we have. Jesse's gonna, yeah, Shauna does some amazing work with Uriel, actually. If you guys haven't worked with her before, it's pretty powerful and beautiful work. When I've been in some of my darkest spaces, she's really helped bring that energy through. Yeah, the moon energy is really strong right now and definitely a part of this work that we're going to be doing. I'm going to get out my moonstone. So Jesse is going to be posting the list. This is he just posted it. So this is actually the work that we're going to be working on right now, which is her mom. And excuse me, I'm going to do my best to keep my throat going well. I'm also going to be really heavily leaning upon you guys and those consciousnesses you can already see are streaming through, coming in already. So what I thought we would do is, this feels like it's kind of big. So I thought, let's do it this week or today. Excuse me, a little bit. Can you feel that energy? It's shifting you up. So whenever you have that yawn, that sense of needing to take a deeper breath, that's actually to upgrade the vessel. It's just like shifting, just like ramping your energy up into that next level. If you're feeling a pressure in the ear, or you're feeling that sense that something's in the home right now, any of you who've decided to join into this work of service with others are going to be being called into service. So you just allow and open yourself up to it. I can really feel it intensifying. So I've got some rainbow moonstone, which is just like luminescent right now, and some selenite. So these are the two that I'm going to be using to help support us right now. I'm going to be putting those right up here. Oh, not that you can see them. Ooh, that is big. Okay, so I hope you've all had a chance to read a little bit about what is going on with her mother. She has a lot of health issues, and she's been struggling with them since she was in her early 30s, and really probably for even earlier than that. So ringing in the ear, it's another, thank you, Shauna. Ringing in the ear is just another way of, yeah, I don't have any lapis lazuli right now. Another way of the body. It's just like when you go up in pressure and then rising up in a plane or rising up on a mountain, your pressure shifts and changes. It's that dimensionality shifting and changing. It's things trying to contact and communicate. So just like yesterday, you guys, what's going to be the most important thing is to feel completely free to share whatever it is that you feel guided to share. If you are picking up on something, if you're sensing something, if you're hearing something, if you're feeling something, it is the most important time for you to trust that intuition and to speak up and to share it. Some doves just flew by. Good. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Let's see. I want to give it just a few more minutes because people do come in, are used to coming in just a little bit later, skipping the card pulls. But what would be great for all of you guys who are joining in the service work today is to use the stones that you feel guided to bring out. So far we've had a call for lapis lazuli, moonstone, selenite. A quartz is really good. Some Apache tears have been called forward. Also, so I'm also going to bring forward some mahogany obsidian. This is a great one for grounding and getting people really down and in. So we're just going to allow these energies to come in to play of these different stones. I'm also using, this is my quartz jersey cluster. It's got a lot of iron in it. It's for pulling out those deep, really deep emotions that are stored really deep below our conscious level and in the subconscious, and usually stored in the gut, which is where the parasympathetic nervous system stores a lot of things. I'm going to be drinking a lot of tea through this so I can keep my voice going. I'm doing some of my own personal healing and growth, so I'm just going to take a sip. Okay. Yeah, Andrea's got her mother. She's preparing herself and working on herself. So I don't know if you can see it, but that little white dot circle right back there, right there, that's a selenite sphere also. So it's bringing in and drawing in that energy as well from outside, bringing it into the space. Okay, so does anybody have any questions before we begin? Anything they want to contribute before we just jump right in to doing the work? Big upgrading. Feel that energy just pulling it up a little bit more, pulling it up a little bit more. to give you guys just a moment to say anything you feel like you need to say. Oh, yes. And I have that right here. Let me go and get that. Let's see if I can find it. Wow. Wow, you guys. You guys are blowing my mind right now. Super, super high energy coming through. I found it, I'm just untangling it. There's two. One's a lapis lazuli with rose quartz, which is perfect, Shauna. And one is a lapis lazuli with jasper. So yeah, we're going to be doing again today, just for those who are just now joining us. This week we're focusing on service to others. Here's the two bracelets. This is, Shauna does our jewelry making for Healing Pathwalkers. Her stuff is just phenomenal, beautiful stuff. It's not only is it beautiful, but it feels amazing. Yeah, there is quite a bit going on right now, Jesse. I agree completely. Yeah, so let's see. All right, let's go ahead and make sure that we're all sitting comfortably. Yeah, I have all my selenite out too. It's all kind of around. Selenite helps connect him with that moon energy really strongly. Oh, one other cluster I've got right next to us is this quartz cluster. It's a crown cluster. It really helps with the crown support, bringing that energy in. So let's go ahead and just take a moment, making sure we're all sitting comfortably. We're going to bring our attention into our vessels, coming into the whole self as we breathe in this present moment. And exhale, release. Feeling the ringing in the ears getting even more intense. Allow yourself to imagine that you have a great tuning dial, and you're tuning that dial until it no longer feels like a pain. It feels more just like a flow of energy, and don't worry about trying to hold on to or understand it. Know that what you're supposed to consciously know will come through effortlessly and gracefully. Breathing in this present moment. Good, you guys. For those of you who can do this, breathing in through the nose is much more effective. Breathing out through the mouth. I cannot breathe through my nose. And we're going to go ahead and invite Gaia and Source to come into the heart chakra as we open up the heart space and ask them to ground and connect us fully into this space, fully into this place, into this now. As we step into this great big circle, this sphere that I am building and that's being built for us by so many, a working space that we are creating for each other in order to do the service work for all that come into it. We're going to go ahead and open up this space, and I invite you all to step into the sphere of working circle. This kind of a sphere is what I call a divinity bubble. The surface is made up of all the rainbow of all the different colors of energy. It is held in a rose that is held in a lotus blossom. That keeps this space angelically tuned and clear and capable of traveling to wherever dimensional reality it is that the work we're doing is most powerful and effective for. It's one of the reasons now the light has gotten much more intense. So just visualizing that helps to bring it into more reality for you. And the first thing we do when we step into a workspace is we just release our ego. The idea that we as an individuation are the optimal and see the unity of all. We release the sense of the I am and step into the unity of the we, the collective. This is a challenge for some of us. Some of us don't feel worthy to be a part of the collective. Go ahead and ask to leave those aspects of unworthiness behind, right? This is not the space for that. And if you want to, you can also ask to have those healed while you're in this space, because there's nothing more proving of your worthiness than being invited into this sphere of work. Me too, needing that message. Let's go ahead and set our intentions of this work in this time, that we're here to serve of the highest good, the most optimum alignment of ourselves as the creation, in supporting Andrea's mother, who is the person we'll be working on today. We're also going to be inviting in those beings, because they've had a lot of death, they've had a lot of loss, who are not perhaps necessarily physically incarnated, but are still nevertheless energetically present around her, to come into this workspace as well, as we set them in the center and we surround them with our love, with our gratitude for them showing up and giving us this opportunity to learn and grow and work together as a collective. Now we're going to start to invite in these other consciousnesses that are here supporting us. The first and foremost is that Christ consciousness energy. Let's go ahead and invite him in. And feel how he is addressing each of us as individuals, welcoming us as well as being welcomed. Some of you are not attuned to this energy, so I'm going to go ahead and support that now. We have Archangels Michael and Uriel. We have Seraphine and Gabriel. We have Raphael, Ezekiel, and Xander all here right now. There may be others. If you feel and sense them, you're welcome to speak up and to share that. They're inviting all of us to use this as an opportunity to heal the aspects of ourselves, the individuations, as well as to do this work for the other, actually. I, for one, am going to accept that invitation. It's up to you as an individual if you choose to accept that invitation as well. So we're going to begin scanning this area, scanning our main subject and focus, the mother. And we're going to look for what is the first thing that we need to do as we address her. This is a learning experience for you guys as much as it is for me, in the sense that we always, every healing is a whole new experience. There will always be something new because we're each individuals. We have unique experiences. So the first thing to do is pause and scan. And I'm going to do what I did not do yesterday, which is scan for this curse energy, for any dark shade-like energy, which I don't get a sense of. But if anybody else does, bring it up. Wow, that would have been great to have cleared that beforehand. Sorry. All right, so I'm feeling like first of all, there are some energies that are ready to cross over, that have been being held onto out of a sense of the guilt and the shame, out of a sense of responsibility and obligation as well, to roles and positions, to belief systems. So let's go ahead and call in any support that's necessary for these individuations to feel like they are ready to cross over. Let's also ask to be shown anything that is needed to be processed or made aware of in order for them to feel like they can actually let go and move out of this expression. The doves and the pigeons are flocking outside. Feel how and sense that guilt and that obligation goes both ways, not just from the mother towards these individuations, but also from them towards her. So let's just help all of them see that we all play these roles for each other. Sometimes they're not easy to play. Sometimes they create pain and suffering. But that's the beauty of this creation, is that we can love while harming, that we can be loved while being in pain. And let's show our gratitude for this dualistic way of expressing ourselves and being expressed. We can even deeper support this by thinking of all the ways that we ourselves have felt guilt, have felt shame, have felt responsibility, have felt this pain inside of ourselves. We can call that frequency up out of her vessel more by doing so with ourselves. This is how we serve as mirrors and reflections for each other. Good, you guys. Let's begin calling up the resentment that we felt towards those who've caused harm or pain, towards the responsibility that we felt that makes us feel resentful in any way, out of obligation, commitment, the roles that we play. We're going to call those vibrational frequencies up out of all of us as we begin to pull them up and out of her. And allow them to be pulled up and out of you as well. You guys don't have to keep working on me. I'm doing much better. Thank you. I'm getting a sense that all of those who needed to pass over and cross over and be released in that way that she's been holding on to them have gone. I'd like you guys to all scan and check and see if I'm missing any of them. Check and see. For those of you who are joining later, well, you can observe from the outside of the circle. And if you have the sense, the ability to be able to tell what's actually going on right now, and you want to step into the circle and be of support and of service to others, do so. Today's a little bit different than normal. And I'm actually sensing that, Jessie, you are supposed to be stepping more into a leadership role in this. So please feel free to do so. It feels like this is your part. And I'm here to support. So go ahead and do so. We're going to also be focusing on, I'm sensing a lot of tightness in those back and shoulder spaces. She has a lot of heart problems. That was how it first began to manifest, was in the heart chakra. As heart issues, I forget what their exact wording and terminology was. So we're going to focus in on that heart chakra space and begin flushing and cleansing. She's been instructed to think about her deepest regrets, what it is that she holds on to the most to punish the self in any way. So these are the things we're going to be pulling up, her deepest and greatest regrets that are now breaking out in shingles, hypertension issues. Ooh. Continue flowing that energy through. As we work on this heart chakra space, we're going to start to expand from there. She also suffers from MS. So this is another disease that's like a immune disease, right? It's the body attacking the body not working for the body. I just got a sense of water. So let's go ahead and call in that waterfall energy that we used at the end yesterday. We're going to use it at this point to just flush and clear, visualizing that great, big, beautiful waterfall of energy coming from Source, full of that rainbow of light and energy as it flows down over this entire workspace, over each of us, and over her. Flow. We're going to ask Gaia to support us in reprogramming her vessel, her body, in allowance, creating that allowance space. Oh, this is blueprint work that we're going to be doing next, you guys. I'm going to have to blow my nose. I'm sorry. I know it's so annoying to hear. I'm just actually grateful that I'm able to get this out because it's been stuck. Hard to not feel better in this energy, right? Okay. All right, guys. So first of all, we're going to be doing not necessarily at this point genetic blueprint work, but we're going to look at, imagine that you see a blueprint of this woman, right? Of her full system. Just visualizing the outline of a body, this woman's body. You don't have to worry if what you're seeing is right or wrong. Just know that you're seeing what you are supposed to. We're going to see the systems, looking at the skin as the outside. As we go in, we're going to see the muscles and the blood vessels, the nerves, going down into the bones, going down, seeing those fat cells, starting to see the organs and all of their placements, seeing the heart and lungs, seeing the spleen and the stomach and the liver, the kidneys and the gallbladder and the pancreas, going down, seeing the diaphragm above that, and seeing those large and small intestines going down, seeing that bladder, ovaries, and uterus. We're going to also start to call into focus the glands, seeing that master pineal gland and that greater pituitary gland, and bringing it to the hypothalamus, coming down into the thalamus, the thyroid, the thymus and the thalamus, the adrenals, coming down into the ovaries, and looping it back into those fat cells, up through, back into that master gland, seeing this full system with the brain, the eyes, the ears, the mouth. We're going to give her a full system restore and reset. Now, this is not something as individuals that we do. We do this with Source. Source does this. And actually, we're going to have Christ take the Christ consciousness, because he's that original blueprint of humanity. We're going to have that Christ consciousness take this blueprint of this woman up into Source, take it back home to the creation, and plug it in, and ask it to be reprogrammed, rewritten into what is optimum for her moving forward. As we hold space, feeling that waterfall flushing through her vessel, cleansing and releasing the ideas and beliefs that she's been holding about herself, the concepts about herself that she's anchored into place. Again, feeling that deep, painful space in that chest and heart. Finding gratitude for that as it comes forward more. Layer by layer is being peeled away and released from the vessel itself as the consciousness is being rewritten, reprogrammed. I'm sensing that Christ is coming back now with that reprogrammed energy of her. And we're all just going to witness this light body coming back into the vessel, this like blueprint of energy coming back. For some of you, this is a learning experience. See the differences that you notice between this light body that left and the light body that's returning. My attention is being called into those kidney organs, those filtration organs. Let's just imagine this flushing of golden water. Our kidneys are where we process and store and filter things. We actually will, a lot of fear starts being processed there. So if we have fear, anxiety problems, tension problems like that, they're right below our adrenals. So they're trying to help filter in and out that information. So when we have these kind of aches in the lower back like that, it is definitely about fear and a sense of burden. So we're just going to call those frequencies into focus as we flush and release from that area. Now we're going to see this beam of source energy coming down from source. It's time to reattune and reprogram her chakras. So as this light beam comes down and it hits this bubble sphere around us, it's going to naturally, gracefully, and effortlessly break up into the spectrum of colors for reprogramming her chakra system. We'll have that red ray of energy that is the foundation, that is our physicality, shining down into her root chakra, reattuning and programming her into her clan, into safety. She does belong here. She is a part of this creation, feeling Gaia holding and supporting, especially for this red ray of energy. Coming into that root chakra, reattuning. It's very weak, so let's expand it. Good, strong foundation. We're going to see that yellow ray. There's the next primary ray coming down into the solar plex. And as it transitions, we'll have that orange ray of passion. Her orange is very, very weak. So it's actually asking me to start with the yellow and then go down to the orange. So we're going to see that primary yellow coming down, shining into the solar plex, into her sense of I am. Reattuning and reprogramming this chakra. Letting her know she has the right to be an individuation outside of that clan, a single entity, not only in service to her family, which can actually create great resentment. And now that orange ray of energy is coming much more clearly down into that sacral, allowing her to feel that passion and vivaciousness, that creative fire that she's never really allowed herself to express, feeling that orange chakra, that sacral chakra expanding, taking its pace, taking up its proper position, not bleeding into the solar plex or down into the root, just holding its own space. Good. Now we're going to see that next primary ray, which is that blue energy ray coming down into the throat chakra, coming in. She does have the right to speak her truth and does not need to scream her truth, right? Does not need to be overbearing with her truth. Is allowed to speak it, knows when to hold it, that this is all going to be healed. There's this sense of a hand around it, trying to control it. We're going to relax that hand and allow that throat chakra to open so she can also hear and receive the truth, not just speak it, but receive. Good. Now we're going to see how that green ray that is more transitional between that power center source and that spoken truth source, and we'll see that coming green down into the heart as the heart opens. Green energy being that energy of nurturing and love, care. We're also going to call in the pink energy of passionate love, of tenderness. Like the frequency of watermelon tourmaline, if you've seen that, familiar. And now we're going to just go ahead and run that water through the crown, allowing the crown to flush and open. The crown is a chakra that we don't really work on. We just allow. We allow this full system to come into alignment as that energy comes down through the crown, down through the throat, down through the third eye, down through the throat. Ah, that's what's missing, third eye. Interesting. So see how this violet energy is now coming in as we open that crown up. And it's taking in the space of this third eye. This is a woman who sees a lot and does nothing with it. She's turned this totally off. So if she's willing to see and is actually willing to receive this information that she is intuiting, then this will open more. Getting a yes to that. She's going to need support with that, Andrea. This chakra is the most shut down of all of them. Good. Now we're going to bring that energy down through the third eye, down through the throat. And as we do so, we're scanning and looking for anything else that's necessary for us to work on at this time. Down through the throat, down through the heart and lung space, down through the solar plex, down through the sacral, down through the root, really grounding her into this expression, into this life. Now I want you guys to each do your own scan to see, is there anything else that we can do to support her vessel at this time? Is there any work that's been missed? Remember, you each see things, individuations. So my sense is that the work on her is complete. So we're going to go ahead and start to release her from the expression, from the sphere. Let's go ahead and take her and release her as we pass her out of this workspace. Now, for each of us as individuations within this working field, we at this point can take any of the energy that we've been working on and ask for that to be worked on within us. There's some of us that need it. So go ahead and take this time to do that work on the self. Whenever we work on another person, we always will see parts and aspects of ourselves that also need that work. That's why we come together and get called together as a collective. And release that guilt or shame for thinking of yourself while you're in service to others. Remember, it is a balance of service to self as well as service to others. Others are the other selves, right? So we have to be one of those other selves too. Good. Now, as each of you start to feel that you've done the part that you're here to do and that you're ready to leave the working space, express your gratitude and for the support and the connection to these energies that came to support us as you step out of the sphere. Step back and away, removing the self. Good. I don't feel anybody left in here but me. So I'm going to go ahead and step out and allow this space to go up into source. Taking all that's left with this work. No one person is going to take any of this work with them. We don't take this kind of work home. Going up into source so that source can reuse this energy, recycle it, and it can become one with the whole infinite creation again. Anything that's residual or left behind now goes back up into source. And we outside of the sphere invite that flush, that flow of energy to come through us as the creation expresses its gratitude to us for taking the time out of our day, out of our lives, out of our own suffering to come in service to another, one we never may meet, never may know. I want to thank you guys for supporting me, supporting this space, coming in today. I love you and I'm so honored to be working with you guys. Thank you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Remember, this is our week of service, so if one of you has somebody who you feel needs service, a situation that needs service or addressing, and a group would be a more appropriate setting, go ahead and PM me, and I can guide you through getting the permission for that. All right, I think that's everything. Am I missing anything, anybody? I don't think so. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.